to I really wanted to pay attention to how I address this situation, this fucking distraction, because that's what it is. It's a distraction. And part of me wanted to kind of ignore the shit, but I guess niggas just don't know how to shut the fuck up, and niggas just don't know how to quit. And it ain't really just one person, it's really like a couple of people. So there's going to be a video I'm going to do. It's a concept, and I call it dirty clout chasing. Because, I'm not against people doing trending news. It's content strategy to certain things. But then you got niggas that they're not where they think they need to be. And I say that because I'm going to keep it real. I don't give a fuck about how many subscribers I have. So if somebody say, oh, you don't grow, blah, blah, I'm like, nigga, guess what? I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. I'm not trying to be a content creator. I'm not trying to make money doing this shit. I actually sell shit for a living. I actually know how to make money rather than trying to fight it up, and hope motherfuckers just give me money for not exchanging. I always felt weird about that, which is why for the longest time I didn't even have my super chats on. Now I appreciate, what y'all donating and it does motivate me to keep going. But you all know that I would do this for free. And but and this is not me clowning nobody with Patreon. This is not what I'm trying to do. But I really want to be constructive with this. I know Game Changers are one. And my thing is, I want to be constructive about this. And I did an upload I was going to upload, in which I just fucking went in. I tore some people's fucking heads off in that shit. Like for real. That's not going to be the most productive. Felt good though. But I know how to really deal with this in a real permanent way. I know how to deal with this. And this conversation I'm going to aim at, this isn't going to be aimed at the dudes and some of them are content creators. And I ain't just talking about Jap. It's a couple of others too, other than Jap. And no, I'm not talking about Sly, by the way. That they fucking dirty clout chasing. Look, man, I like Donovan. I know Donovan had his issues with O'Shea, but the thing about it is, Donovan, even O'Shea will say Donovan knows how to put in that work. Donovan has actually done a lot of self-improvement on his own, because if you know his story, I mean, he comes from a lot of shit. A lot of it was self-inflicted, but it's shit he done came out of that I don't think I necessarily would have. So I got respect. And Donovan doing his thing where he works with black men on his terms, I got respect for people who do that. People that consolidate their own power, I got respect for that. That build their own shit in the image that they want to build it. And the reason why I'm mentioning Donovan is because a lot of this shit rotates around him. At the end of the day, Donovan is like kind of this ambassador between, the black manosphere, kind of the mainstream manosphere, which is like where the white dudes are, and a lot of black dudes want to be there. And so it's two different worlds. And I was listening to kind of his show with Fresh and Fit, whoever the fuck, and then they were talking about that preach and Abba and preach shit, and it's some good shit. Everybody has their lane, and he wasn't even talking about the passport shit, but Jap decided to show that dig. But my point is, the reason why I mentioned Donovan is I want to give a clear difference between somebody that builds their own shit and they're not really a gimmick guy. Like it's really them and what they think. And then you got and nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And then you got motherfuckers that they have gimmicks and they want to clout chase off of other people. And part of how they do that is they create these enemies. And there's different ways of doing it. You've heard me mention Jason Black, where they make these straw man arguments. You know what the bitches do, which they blame us for everything. Everything's our fault. Even when they with a white dude, it's our fault. Passport Bros tends to be a favorite target. Passport bros and SYSBM tend to be favorite targets. You notice motherfuckers don't really go after the Hebrew Israelites. You notice motherfuckers don't really go after the Pan-Africanists like that. And you notice the black conservatives, same thing. People don't really tend to deal with them as much unless it's a political thing. And I ask myself, why? Why are and keep in mind what passport bros are. Passport bros is really a term of black men in the black manosphere. They also dabble in, they also deal with the traveling thing. But make no mistake, when it comes to black men in traveling rivals the size of the black manosphere. It's just not organized like that. If you were to bring in the heavy hitters in the black male travel space, people like Rockland, people like Jabril makes more money than anybody in the manosphere, and that includes Kevin Samuels. And I'm not even talking about in YouTube, I'm talking about in life. And you got dudes like that because there's other elements that come into it that don't come into it necessarily in the black manosphere. And the black man and the passport shit is not necessarily bogged down by certain things that the black manosphere is bogged down. This is why I've always said, and I remember when I was on solo shit, and I told Minority Nomad, I told him straight up, I said, no, do not merge with the black manosphere. And I am in the black manosphere. You keep it separate. Because what you're doing, because if the black manosphere don't work, what you all are doing operates outside of that. And I don't believe in putting all my eggs in one basket necessarily. And I actually come from the passport community. Then I come before I actually came into the black manosphere. A lot of y'all don't know that. So, and I told him, I said no. I said do not merge it, because I know there's certain things the black manosphere has not really absorbed itself. Me, I talk a lot of shit about people that make the manosphere commentary videos, but I have a right to make them. I can make them. I've been in this bitch long enough to where I can make them. And it ain't like I'm constantly making them. And I've always had that belief. So what I want, because this is not going to be long, because I got food. I got Chick-fil-A. What I want to do, I want to really have a quick conversation about is what I would tell dudes like Aaron Ferris, Black Men's Travels, all these good dudes. I'm not going to tell them to not say shit to motherfuckers mouth. I'm not going to say that because it take you go low, we go high. I'm not going to say that. But what I will say is there is certain, every group and everything has problems. This is not about the tricky shit. I'm just talking about other shit as far as cohesion. And the reality is they all know what, Black Men Traveling is about, the business side of it, a lot of different sides of it. Yeah, I'm picking my nose. Fuck you. And the best way to deal with niggas like Jap, the best way to deal with any of these niggas that got something to say, is to fucking overwhelm them with success. That's how you do it. And that's basically doing the things that was supposed to be already done, things that are going in that direction. Because I remember when niggas was uploading Instagram thought pictures and shit and not actual on the ground footage, people have gotten a lot better about that. And we're getting footage where we're putting stuff out there. It's time to really merge it with the greater Black Passport community, which is another thing, which opens up certain avenues that the Black manosphere may not open. The reality of the situation is the passport community has the capability to override the manosphere if it ever really organized in a way that the manosphere was organized. And I'm including the heavy hitters in the manosphere too. Really, the passport community has the capability of absorbing the Black manosphere into it. It has that kind of potential. Because the difference is the passport community tends to not get bogged down in the inner battle nigga shit that keeps stunting the black manosphere. Even David Carroll said this. You niggas are dumb. And he said, because he was talking about how, what's the chick's name? Whatever, Michaela Pink. We let her off the hook. We keep letting these hoes off the hook when they moving the goalposts. Because niggas are too busy wanting to play Highlander syndrome and fight other black men over this stupid shit. So they just make up reasons. Okay, I ain't talked about these niggas that trick. Even though every nigga around you is in a fucking strip club, in a club tricking off liquor, trying to twerk in front of a bitch to act like you a better nigga or something. Right? But folks need to really focus on really forging the necessary relationships, and building the necessary things that needs to be built. And shout out to Black Man Travels. Definitely like the new thumbnails. Definitely like the look. People need to focus on growing. And that's not. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Black Men Travels doesn't have to be. I mean, obviously, it needs to serve black men first. But there's ways of growing. Even when it comes to ADOS black men and not ADOS black men, there's ways of forging those connections. That's what needs to be focused on. Because the truth is, a lot of these niggas, they're upset because they're not growing where they think they should be. They want to make the majority of their income on YouTube. They want to be like fucking DJ Academics. And look, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that if you can pursue it. Some of these guys do have the potential to do that. But they don't know really how to grow outside of organic. They don't know how to buy ads and pay. They don't know how to do that. And I'm glad I'm going to tell you, I'm glad you niggas are showing me this. Because see, some of you motherfuckers are actually people that I actually thought I would invest in to get your message out once I fully got my shit 100% organized. But I realized I know what the fuck I'm going to do. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take some of these tertiary groups that operate outside of the manosphere, and I'm going to do something similar to what Donovan did. And niggas can believe it, not believe it. I don't give a fuck, because I want y'all to know when it happens, y'all heard it first. And it ain't something I'm going to announce. A lot of shit that I'm going to do, I'm telling you now, but when it starts to happen, it's going to be quiet, and I may act like it ain't happening while you see it right in front of your face. Because I don't believe in like flashing shit in person. I don't even believe in necessarily doing it on my shit. My thing is that when you look at sites like Passport Heavy, when you look at people like Jabril, when you look at Minority Nomad, Rockland, and all these dudes, because they also deal in different industries. Like some of it's internet marketing, some of it is in different modalities. It's about helping black men live their best life. Let's take the tricking completely off the table. Because the reality of the situation is, any nigga that says, well, who you are in the United States is who you are outside, them niggas don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and chances are they've never been out. That's real talk. The reality of the situation is, depending on the group of women you're dealing with, if they like light-skinned niggas in certain places, there's other places that don't. Everybody has their artificial advantages. Like, that just is what it is. And this idea that black men go travel overseas because they can't get pussy in the United States, that's not true. That's not true. And that's just some shit niggas say to make themselves feel good about themselves. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with niggas saying people that travel are bitches or lame. I don't have that issue. I have an issue with black men accusing other black men of fucking underage girls. Or kind of trying to tiptoe around that. I think that's evil. I think as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to say nothing that's going to get me in trouble. But real talk, that shit needs to be handled, like straight up. And anybody that would co-sign that or even laugh it off, see, it's funny now until that shit gets thrown in your face, until people start lying on you. Now it's all these niggas are hoes. But then it's just roasted. No, man, we got to start having a standard. Look, I get that some niggas say, oh, if you want to say everybody that travel is tricking, and if they tricking, they lame, fine. I'm not going to sweat that. You have a right to say that. I can disagree with that. But when we start playing with this underage girl shit, and then I know a lot of you niggas are clout chasing, a lot of you niggas so bad want to be on. And I'm serious. Like, what y'all don't, this is the thing y'all don't understand about me. I don't have to depend on organic shit. All I got to do is create my channel, create a channel, and make it so it can stick. And then just put money into it as far as advertising, and shit like that. And I can build an audience. I don't need to organically build it because I know how to do that. And part of why I don't do that is because I know if I do it, niggas will be so upset for no reason. They will be so upset for no reason. And my thing is, come to this, look, the travel shit, like they want to accuse black men that travel of trying to sell a dream that's not true. Oh man, the bitches are so great, blah, 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 and y'all niggas are lying. Or them niggas will go up there and they say it ain't nothing. Well, let me tell you something. There's different levels to going overseas. Like if you go overseas and like shout out to O'Shea. O'Shea will tell you, going overseas and not knowing nobody where you at is not the same as going overseas and being able to plug into a network. I know O'Shea knows that because he had to develop one when he was over in Uganda. It ain't the same lane necessarily. So when people like drop off somewhere and then they say this shit ain't all that, well, that's like you going to Chicago. That's like you going anywhere, pick a city. If you don't know nobody and you ain't plugged in, you're going to have to build that. And people don't think about that. They just make these fucking assumptions that like shit, like, and nobody's like we're selling rainbows and shit to motherfuckers. That's not true. And this idea, and I still have yet to hear anybody, everybody keeps saying, oh, these niggas are bragging. These niggas are talking about they players and shit. Show me the videos. Where are the reaction videos? All these niggas love doing reaction videos to everybody. Kevin Samuels included. But guess what? Where ain't no reaction videos of niggas doing this. Ain't no real fucking screenshots of niggas actually bragging. You got niggas responding when people start shit. But the only thing people are saying is women act differently in the United States and outside. And most people agree with that. Ain't nowhere is perfect. That's not what nobody's saying. Man, it's this unspoken, like, just, like, defect in black men as to why black men really can't work together. This is why niggas do go on a hyper individual tip. Because the truth is, you can only work with a couple of niggas and you gotta say fuck everybody else. Black people don't like to do business with each other. Black people find a way to blow shit up. I've already talked about why that is, but like I said, going back to it, the reality of the situation is, you're not going to win, and shout out to LAR, you're not going to win just roasting, going back and forth. That's not how you win. How you win is you have to raise the bar so high, and then you have to be like, nigga, you are nothing. And and make them niggas prove to you that's not true. And I'm going to tell you what a lot of black men do. I'm going to tell you what black men do. When black men are broke, the only thing they do is they show they show bitches. When they ain't got nothing else to show, that's what they show. And every race knows that about black men, by the way. You having a bitch don't mean nothing. Because at the end of the day, having a bitch, it ain't like that bitch can actually win wars for your ass. I'm talking about even competitively in business. And that's the thing black men don't understand. It really is. And I've seen this manifest, like you've heard me mention Jason Black. I've seen this manifest in like a variety. This sickness has manifested in a variety of different ways. These niggas will have you believe they give a fuck about who tricking. That it bothers them that somebody's tricking. There's a lot of dumb shit black men do that doesn't bother. I think it's stupid. But shit, if they're going to do it, then fuck it. They're going to do it. Nigga, you are risking a hell of a lot more money getting married than you are tricking. I give my opinion, that's it. But I don't sit there and start making up lies about motherfuckers. When you do that, that's beyond not having an argument. And the reality is, you see this shit and you observe it and you like, wow, okay. Wow. And you, if you say, okay, this is why motherfuckers don't go all 100% in on black men. This is why. This is why. And a lot of these fights are like an absolute waste of time for no reason. It's because niggas don't know. A lot of these niggas don't know how to grow. This is the only way they know how to grow, is to just talk shit about something or somebody else. And it's funny. It's funny. It's funny to me. But that's how you deal with it. The way you deal with it is the passport bros are going to have to become something that rivals the manosphere. And rather than being in partnership, people are gonna have to be respected by taking a fucking baseball bat to people and letting them know, by changing the gravity of the traffic, of the attention. David Carroll even said it. That's how you hurt niggas, by redirecting attention. And there's ways for these dudes to do it, and there are enough content creators that could do it. I'm dead ass. And I'm telling you right now, like shit like this, like you give, like what did they say about making Superman bleed? You make God bleed. You make him bleed and you give him a choice. You saw that shit with Satan the Sinner. You give these niggas a credible choice. And a lot of these niggas have hatred towards the manosphere. And some of it has to do with this type of bullshit. And a lot of dudes underestimate the anger that people have towards the black manosphere. And a lot of it is bullshit. But there's some truth to a lot of the dusty shit that some niggas do. And they think it's funny. Until you start taxing their money. And you start being able to compete with their money. Now they're upset. Now they're mad. And the reality is, what I would suggest the passport community do is really, keep quiet. Like, call some shit out if they start trying to talk about niggas messing with underage girls. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. That's hate speech. I don't give a fuck about what somebody will say. Me, personally, I don't believe Jap that they took his shit out. I think he made that shit up. But even still, even if they did, nigga, what you said was hate speech. You can't sit there and allude, and he'll be like, where did I allude? You cannot allude 1 degree or 2 degrees of separation that dudes might be messing with underage girls without no kind of, like, I'm not even saying you gotta have dead on evidence, but if you're just making that shit up and letting that fly out your mouth, nigga, you really don't even need to be on YouTube if you're gonna do that. Cause that's straight up hate speech. Nigga, you wouldn't say that about the homosexual community. You wouldn't say that about the white community because you know you'd be off of YouTube. And that includes anybody else. Y'all niggas know you all would be off YouTube and you all would be kept off of YouTube if y'all did that. Ernest Kwame, do you bro? People will always complain. Damn it. No, dude, I don't care. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck about somebody saying I'm a lame, I'm a bitch nigga, I don't get no bitches. That's not the issue. That's fucked up, but that's not the issue. That is not that. And for black men to not understand that separation tells me a lot of you niggas are sick, and David Carroll is absolutely right about a lot of y'all. He really is. I see, and I wanted to do an upload but that's my thing. Passport bros are going to have to basically create a situation in which they're able to gravitationally pull. Kind of like SYSBM is kind of an example, but not really. That's what they're going to have to do. And I have no problem helping them do that. I have no problem helping them do that. And I'm going to keep it real with you. A lot of the stuff that I was going to do to invest in the black manosphere, I'm probably going to redirect that shit into other things. Because there's other things that's less, I'm not trying to use the word toxic. It's less radioactive. The red pill shit is radio fucking active. And people like Jap make it that way. He makes it very hard to do the type of content that we need to do to actually help black male determinism. Yet he don't want to talk shit about what everybody else is doing. Donovan. He does though. Donovan does. Donovan has an interesting story. No, man, I don't know, man. I thought y'all was bullshitting about that Google bot. That Google bot is a bitch because it took a lot of shit out that I was putting from other stuff. Especially especially when you think about the suicides that have happened and the manosphere is accused of not offering nobody hope. No, he ain't gonna hold the L. It ain't about Jap. It's about a lot of dudes that think that. And the way you deal with that is you gotta turn that jealousy, you gotta turn that shit up to like level 9,000 to the point where they can't even think straight. Kevin Samuels is a perfect example of that. Look at how them bitches reacted to him. And look at how goofy that shit was. It is taken seriously, Jaws. And my thing is, and at the end of the day, that's how you deal with it. You're right, master teacher. That's how you deal with it. You have to prove, nigga, I'm better than you in every fucking way. And that's why master teacher is so important. Because master teacher can get bitches in the United States. That's not a question. Shout out to master teacher. I know he's going through some stuff, family issues. Jabril, too, is from Chicago. And the thing is, I'm not gonna drag no big people into this because it ain't about that. You gotta prove, nigga, I got more money than you. I get better bitches than you. I don't have to deal with this shit. You have to prove at every level you're better than these niggas. You better than this situation. And that is one thing I will say the passport situation has not, that's an area of improvement. Because the passport bros have united, but not united in a way like that. And you have to say, you know what? I have a better solution than the black manosphere. The black man, that's really what it's gonna come down to. All them niggas can do is bitch. I can show you the aim at. And that is the one flaw in the black manosphere that if another group was able to legitimately organize around it, a lot of you niggas, they can basically redirect the traffic. Because they won't have nothing to say. And the thing about it is, if you show what you talking about, because I can prove to you, all you got to do, it's easy to prove that everybody ain't tricking on every bitch. I've dealt with different classes overseas. I ain't just dealt with going over there slumming it. Because I actually work with people that work in corporations on the side over there. So trust and believe. Like, it ain't just the slum shit. No, Mike V. No, Mike V. Mike V. Mike V. Master Teacher 1 is not BGS. Hey, trust me, I believe the same shit. I thought the same shit at first. No, Master Teacher 1. Go type in Master Teacher 1 in you'd actually like the brother Mike V. He's an international brother and he talks about traveling, but he talks more about he's a finance guy. He was in the Air Force, so you'd actually like him. Investing, all that. He's your type of dude. But right now he's lived in London for about 8 years. Very business minded, talks about women, but isn't hung up on them. But can definitely talk about the other stuff. But yeah, man, I just wanted to put my thoughts out there with that. But that's what you're gonna have to do. That's what it's gonna have to be. I know motherfuckers will be like, well, man, they just not gonna leave you alone because they're niggas and they're ongoing. They're like baby's kids. They keep on dealing with that till you deal with them. And that's how you deal with that shit. Because a lot of these dudes that talk a lot of this shit, they got weaknesses. Trust me. And they'll blow smoke until they realize they can get smoke blown right back. And see, it's a waste of time. It's a distraction to argue with them. That's a distraction. The way you do is you improve the units, improve the situation, and build on it. That's how you're going to have to deal with it. Anyway, y'all, shout out to MOT. He's got a string. Like I said, man, the thing about it is I don't care about what nobody says as far as their opinions. But when you start accusing people of underage shit or you start alluding to that, that's what pisses me off. That I can't stand that. I just can't. I can't. And a lot of y'all shouldn't do that. A lot of y'all should not be accepting that shit. Any of y'all that listen to motherfuckers do that, and then think about it. Jap put Prince up there and then he said pervert. So what are you trying to say about Prince? See, this is the dumb shit. It is. It's bullshit. And I try to stay out of this shit because, quite frankly, this shit is a waste of time, man. Like, niggas got better shit to do. And it's sad because I'm sitting here having arguments with Mike V and the Gone, and then you stupid, you motherfuckers basically make me look bad. You basically proved them right with y'all stupid asses. That's the shit that really pisses me off, too. Talking about what the fuck we need to do about black men, and you motherfuckers are acting like this. God. Anyway, y'all, I'm hopping off. I just wanted to give y'all my 2 cents. But at the end of the day, that's the only way to really deal with this. Is you gotta be like, look, man, I'm living better than you. And I'm talking about like really, really showing what goes on. Not know we'll see. Whatever. And I'm the one that defended him saying that wasn't what happened. That wasn't him. Nobody's definitively proved that. So when it was him, I basically defended. People got to stop making shit up. I get the video. That's a lot more evidence than what the fuck they talking about with the trigger. Because the truth be told, niggas like, and see, this is why, people like Mike V. Mike V is an international guy. Mike V ain't out here tricking. Mike V knows that there is levels to the shit. There is like a class of international people, black, Caribbean, whatever, African, blacks in Europe. There's levels to this shit. Everybody ain't out there triggering. And a lot of dudes come to this by way of being a contractor in the military, by corporate America. I came through traveling via corporate America. I was always interested in it, but how I got the opportunity to go, I wouldn't go buy no $2,000 fucking ticket. I not only went over there, I was over there 5 months, corporate America. Everybody, for the professional class, everybody ain't going over there on some New York to DR fuck fest. Hell, when I was in the Dominican Republic, I was in a fucking call center, Santo Domingo. I had to inspect that shit. Everybody ain't out here just for the purpose of fucking bitches. Them tickets are too expensive. That shit is high. Shit is not like, oh, I'm a fuck a bitch. I don't care how cheap that shit is. It's the ticket. But see, nobody talks about that. Anyway, let me stop before I talk shit, man. My Chick-fil-A get cold. Anyway, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.